Okay, and so today we're going to look again at quadratics and factorising them, but this time we're going to look at trinomials where the x squared, where the coefficient of it is different to 1. So maybe 2x squared or 3x squared or 5 or 4 or 8x squared, okay? Rather than traditionally as we've looked at up to now where it's just been x squared. Okay. So one such example is here, this trinomial, and that we're asked to factorise fully, and it has 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. Now we can still use the method that we've used before, so we're just going to review first the rules, the steps that we've used each time there. So step 1 always asks us to find the factors of the constant number. So I'm just going to write the trinomial up here. So if it was, for example, ax squared plus bx plus c, well, always we've had that the x squared has been always 1, okay? So now we're going to look at the ones where a is a number different to 1, but we're going to see here that the step 1 asked us to find the factors of the constant number. So it was this number here, c on its own, and we listed the factors. Then 2, we chose the numbers, the factors that sum, so that either add together or subtract from each other to give us the coefficient of the variable, to give us something equal to b. And then we always checked the sign. So firstly, the sign of the constant number. So if it's plus, then the factors would have to be 2 pluses or 2 minuses. And then we would look here at this number. Okay, so if it was a plus, we'd have chosen a plus here for our factors. Then if this was a minus, then we'd know it had to be either a plus by a minus or a minus by a plus. And we would choose, depending on what this sign here was, the sign of the variable, we would choose whether it was a plus or a minus, okay, for the bigger number. So if this was a plus, then the bigger number of the factor would become a plus. If this was a minus, then the bigger factor of the two factors would also be the minus one. Okay, so we're going to look at an example now. Return to our example. So here I have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3, and I follow the exact same steps. So firstly, I list the factors of 3, and now just all that's different this time, I list the factors of 2x squared. So how do I get 2x squared? Well, 2x multiplied by x gives me x squared. And so I return to my brackets. So I know, well, first of all, I'm going to have 2x here, and I'm going to have x. So that's those taken care of. And then now I need to take care of these, my two factors. Now, the only thing here is, I know that these two numbers go together and these two numbers go together. So I want to work out what numbers are going to give me this 5x. So I know I have 2x by something and I have x multiplied by something, and I want to get to 5x. So I know, well, I could have 2x by 1, for example. Well, I could, in fact, if I go here, I could have 2x by 3 and 1 by x. And I could say, well, 2x by 3 gives me 6x, 1 by x gives me 1x. Now, if I could take that away, then I would say, yeah, but I can't do that because this is a plus sign. So I'm going to have to revisit and make a different option. So I could go back here. 1 second. So essentially I'm going to go back here now and I'm going to see, well, if I work out here, just change the order of the factors, well then what am I going to have? So here I have 3 by x, and here I have 2x by 1. Now I know, because this is a plus, I either have 2 pluses or 2 minuses. And I look and I see, well, this sign here is a plus. So I know I'm going to have 2 pluses in here. And when I check these, so 3 by x gives me 3x. And here 2x by 1, well, that gives me 2x, and they're both plus. And I add them together and I get plus 5x, which is what we're asked to achieve. So I know that this one down here is actually my 2 factors of that one. And this one can't be because of that minus sign. Okay, we'll do another example now. Okay, so this time we're asked to factorise 7x squared plus 13x minus 2. So I begin again as usual. I write down my factors of 2, so that's just 2 by 1. Over here then I'm going to have my factors of 7x squared, so that's 7x times x. And so now I'm going to decide in which order they go into my brackets. So the first one I'll write down 7x and x, and now I'm going to look at the order. Now I know that here, this number 13x that I'm trying to get to, that's quite big. So I'm going to try multiplying the 7x by 2, putting that one together. And I know that always this is the way the brackets work out. So here I'm going to have 7x by 2, and I'm going to place my 1 here beside x. And then I'm going to see my signs. So here I see that's a minus sign, so I know one has to be positive and the other has to be minus. And here I see this is minus, or this is positive. So I know I want my bigger number, the thing that gives me the biggest amount, to be positive and the other to be negative. So I'm just going to multiply out these two here. So 7x times 2, well, that gives me 14x. And here 1 by x, well, that gives me 1x or x. And I want to get to 13. So I know that this has to be minus and that has to be plus. So I'm going to put my plus with the plus 2 and my minus with the minus 1. And then I'm correct. And so that's my answer. 7x minus 1 bracket x plus 2. Okay, so make sure that we get both examples taken down, and then you can pause on the next slide, and that's going to be your learning check for homework.